What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's Daily Devo with Trust in Jesus Ministries. And we're on the second part, or the second thing that Jacob does as he finds out about the group of people that's coming. Esau's got a clan, 400 folks, man, is coming. And what does Jacob do? First, he splits his camp up so that if one gets struck, then the other one can take off and be saved, be delivered. What's the second thing he does? We're about to find out. If you haven't read 32, 9 through 12, go ahead and stop the tape, check it out, see what it has to say, read it. If you have read it, let's dive in, man. Let's jump on in. What's happening? What's occurring in the story? Well, Jacob prays. He petitions God based on his faithfulness. He says, man, you said that, or you told me to go home. I went. He says that you would do well with me. He says that you would do well with me, and that and then later on at the very end, he says, you said my seed would be like the sands of the seashore. So he's petitioning God based on the promises that he promised him. But not only is he petitioning God on that, but he's also demonstrating his understanding of who he is in comparison to who God is. He says, I am small. He says, I am little compared to all of this love and all of this faithfulness that you've done for your servant. So he recognizes as that all he is really just one who can serve God. That there's nothing that he can do in comparison to the greatness of the one who is showing these blessings or making these promises. He says, man, I'm little. Or how am I, what worth am I to deserve this hesed? And this word hesed can have some strong implications, man. This covenant love, this faithfulness, this faithful love, this loving kindness. It's a word that is used in connotation to understanding that God has linked himself, joined himself. He has obligated himself to us. And he says, what do I deserve? What is there that I could do? Or what did I do to deserve this? Nothing. I'm just your humble servant. And then he recounts what it is that God has done when he says that he crossed this Jordan, man, with nothing but a staff. But he comes back and he's like, man, now I'm 2 camps. It's like, you've increased me. He's like, so I see these things, man. I see these things. And then he comes with the request. He says, deliver me from the hand of my brother. Save me from his hand. Keep me from his hand. And he says, and the reason I asked that is because this is how this promise you said was going to happen has got to be fulfilled, right? Now, he don't know. God could do it in whatever way he wants to. But that's the reason for the answer, or that's the reason for the request that he is asking God to answer. It's based on his promise, based on the fact that he said his seed would be like the sands of the seashore. He says, I won't even be able to count the greatness of the number. That's what you said. That ain't what I asked for. That's what you said, and that's what I will desire, and that's what I believe. So deliver me. Woo! That's why I had to do this one on its own, man. Woo! Hey, Jacob praying, but he praying based on the character of God. So what does this say about God? Well, it says that he is the one that we can run to, we can turn to, we can confide in, we can petition. That is what it says about God. Man, and he is there to do it. He's there to hear. He listens. What is this saying about man? I think it's saying that we need to go to God. It's difficult sometimes, man. I think we don't often want to try and we want to take on our own weight. We want to fix our own problems. We want to handle our own situations because that's what we've been taught as a culture in America, is that we take care of ourselves, that we're strong, that we're able to handle and bear the burden. But run to God. That's what he's there for. Well, he's there for so much more. But he has called us to come to him with every anxiety, with every problem, because he loves us and cares for us and desires good for us. How can we apply these truths to our lives? Well, what big problem are you facing? What's going down right now? What's happening in your life that's just stripping away your joy? That's ripping up your happiness. That's tearing apart your faith. What is going on right now that you need to go to the God El Shaddai, the mighty God? What is it right now that's happening that you need to speak to him about with? Take your struggles, take your hurts, take your pains, take your burdens, take your weights to him. And when we do that, man, that's when we find rest. That's when we find rest. Jacob prays when he sees the enemy attacking. Now, he doesn't just pray and do nothing. Like we saw earlier, he made plans and made sessions to be able to do what he needed to do. But he goes to God. And so in your struggles and your pain and your suffering and your hurt and your need, go to God. Don't just do nothing, but go to God. I appreciate you guys for listening. And I'll see you in the next episode.